morning, everyone, or good afternoon as it may be, where you may be. It is May 28th, 2023. Today's the day. It's Monaco. Hi everyone, this is Gresh. I am filling in for Ryan for this weekend for the race. So I'm not your normal, usual commentator for the race. It's going to be fun. Today is one of the crown jewels of motorsports. If you don't know, Monaco is one of those three. The other two is the Indianapolis 500, which will be later today, and then the Mans of 24 hours within a few weeks. They are now just starting to do the national anthem of the Principality of Monaco. Yes, Monaco is small, but it is its own little country on the side of France. As we get close, the big story right now, the big story is the weather. It is dry, it is sunny currently at track. There is a weather system nearby, about 15 kilometers. It is north of the track in the city. It's moving eastward, but it could drift south. And if it drifts south, it will go over the city and we will have a wet race. And this brings up, if it does, now we get into questions of tire choices. Again, we've got the intermediate, but we also have a new blue wet tire. And what's special about this blue wet tire is that it's designed not to use the blankets. So we've got drama already even from quality yesterday. It did rain on the track overnight. So the track is differ from quality. We did have an F3 and F2 race and a Porsche Cup race. They have done some reconnaissance laps about 45 minutes ago. They did 30 minutes to 45 minutes ago. They did teams did reconnaissance laps on track. So they're trying, and so we've got questions about where is tire degradation going to be, and that's interesting because the tire choices that Perez brought, the C5 is our soft, the C4 is our mediums, and the C3 is our hard tire. So that is what is going on going into the race today. Again, I want to thank everyone who's showed up so far. Over 2,000 of you have shown up already. Over almost 400 of you have liked the stream already. Thank you so much. Again, this is Racing Statistics, and again, this is Crash. Ryan's not here this weekend for the race. I'm filling in for him. I think it's a personal thing that's going on, or just he needs a life type scenario. So don't. He's okay. He will be back for the next race. I'm just filling in for this one right now. We've got a poll right now, and it's basically who will finish the race on a higher position, Sainz and Leclerc. Sainz is starting P4 and Leclerc is starting P6. This is the other story from yesterday. Ferrari has already screwed up their race. Leclerc finished quality in P3 and then has been dinged 3 spots because he impeded Lando in Q3. And this is, I don't know what to say. I mean, this is Leclerc should have been told that Lando was coming and that he needed to get out of the racing line, needed to get to the side. There's no two ways about it. The other part of what's going on here is that in F1, you don't use what's called spotters. Over here in the United States, particularly with NASCAR and with IndyCar, we have a dedicated teams of people who are they call them the spotters, and they're keeping eye on track, helping their driver understand who's around them, who's coming up, what's going on track. And you don't have this in F1, and I don't know why you don't have this in F1. And if there was a dedicated spotter Ferrari had dedicated spotters, that's their role, is to tell basically what's going on. What's happened, here in F1, what's happened is that role has now dropped to the race engineer. And yeah, I don't know what to tell you. We're about 10 minutes to go before the race starts. So and right now on the poll right now, Sainz is taking 47% and Leclerc is taking a 52%. Yeah, I think you guys, I'm not sure. He's got to get past Hamilton and he's going to pass his teammate. So it's really interesting that you guys have gone with Leclerc going, edging Leclerc over Sainz right now. Yeah, I don't know if the rules prevent spotters, and I don't know why the rules prevent spotters, or why you would have why you would prevent having spotters. It's just again, so for those who don't know, I'm an American. I live currently in the state of Texas, the same state where the American Grand Prix in Austin is. So I'm about 4 hours north of Austin, per se. In terms of, I grew up in the Northeast, which is the Boston area. So from New York up to Boston, that upper Northeast section. Go Red Sox, even though they're not doing very well. Anyways, so from an American perspective, to not have spotters, to not see that, is very weird for me, and that's just telling you right now from where I'm standing from my perspective. Space is saying with GPS you shouldn't need them. Someone messed up. Yes, someone did mess up, but my point here is that um, ideally there should be someone on the team who is just tracking that and managing that. Ideally, I don't know why you would not have someone just to handle that and have the race engineer handle the other, just the pure engineering things. So moving on from that, we've still got time to one of the things that that's been interesting this weekend is that 2 years ago we had the legendary Lance Stroll interrupting meme generated out of the Monaco Grand Prix. And that is because at that time, the Monaco Grand Prix was being produced by the local TV broadcasters. And that has changed this year. The F1, the current F1 production team has taken over Monaco this year, and it has shown. One of the first things that they've done is they brought in helicopter shots and have gotten beautiful shots of the city. I did all of the practices this weekend. I loved it. I loved all the shots. I loved the view of the city. It showed off how beautiful Monaco is. It showed off what is special about Monaco with having racing by the marina. And it's much different. Just the beauty of the city came out, and it's made just watching the race so much better than I have seen in previous year. So the production quality has been huge. It's been huge, and so it's improved. It's improved my opinion of the race. Again, let's get it down. It is a small, short track with not, there's like 12 paces from on the start grid line. That's not a lot of space, and there's not a lot of room to make maneuvers. It is possible. Let's not say it's not that. Yeah, everyone knows that it's hard, but it is possible in certain locations to make moves. And you have to have nerves of steels and a grit to do so. Looking at right now, any questions right now? We've got a few people who are Max fans. We see a couple people who are Charles fans. And again, we do have our map back, thank God. You won't see any, again, what you see on there is that basically cars were on track getting to their grid spots. That's pretty much what the data is on there right now. The map itself has, there's no cars on because there's no data right now. And that won't start until literally the start of the race. So don't worry about the map right now until the race actually starts. And it'll take about a few seconds for it to get data and populate. And we're now 5 minutes to the beginning of the race right now. F1 is just starting with their theme song right now. What happened to the Spanish commentary? Well, that's Ryan. He's just not here this weekend, and I'm filling in. It was a 24 race calendar. It's now down to 22. He can't be here for every single race. It's just not possible. Not even the F1 guys. Will Buxton. not at every race. So I am just happy to filling in the role this week. I'm the backup guy. And that's basically all that's going on right now. He will be back in the next race. We're asking, why do you never show the race? Because we're a watch along. We intended for you to being able to watch the race on your own. We're again, for us to show you the race would be pirating the race. So we're, basically we're more, again, the watch along. You're basically sitting with everyone else in chat like you were on a couch. And that's basically what the watch along is designed to be. Just looking at through chat right now for any other questions. And he'll have minute breaks to report. Not that I know of. So some basic stats. Again, the track is about. What's interesting about the Monaco track is that it is one of the slowest tracks. It is the slowest track on the calendar, and that's because it is on city streets, 100% on through these city streets. These streets are open to the public at night after last night these streets were open to the city public to drive on to be used. The other thing that's interesting is it's about it's a 3 kilometer 0.3 long track, and we only go 76 laps. And that's by rule. That Monaco has a specific rule that basically allows it to be at 76, which is the historical length of the Grand Prix. So it is a special carved-in grandfather exception to everything else. Going through the grid right now, Perez and Joe are going to be back. Passes are on the second row from the back. Sargent Bottas in that third. Stroll and Albon 13th and 14th. We've got Oscar Piastri and Nick DeVries 11th and 12th on the grid. Yuki Tsunoda is starting 9th, one of his best starting points, and Lando is starting 10th. So they're in the points already. Pierre Gasly starting 7th. He's having a great year. George Russell starting 8th, further back than you would expect from him. Hamilton is starting 5th, and Charles Leclerc is starting 6th, based on his grid penalty. Esteban Ocon is starting 3rd, and Carlos Sainz 4th. And in our front row, we have Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso. And that's another story that we have to look at, because on that first lap, is Alonso going to be the wily fox and try and pass Max as soon as possible or within that first lap? And that's something that we should be, we'll be looking at as we go forward. We've got about a minute left before the race starts. Basically, everyone, in about a few seconds, everyone's going to be pulling up those tire blankets and getting off the grid. And then we'll have our formation lap. I'm looking through chat right now. Again, how long is the race for? It's 76 laps. It is shorter than it would. So a normal F1 race would be more for the length of the track. A normal F1 race would be more laps. Because it's Monaco, it is a shorter length. It's not the full length, and people are now darting off the grid as they need to be, and we're about to start the formation lap. Who was on track? That's interesting. And the clock has now hit time. The formation lap has begun. Looking through again, this formation stat. We got a Pierre Gasly fan, a Hamilton fan in chat. Thank you for the 750,000, over 8,000 now. We've got over 630 likes. I want to thank you all. Again, this is Crash. I am not your normal commentary for the race. I'm filling in for Ryan. Again, there's 22 races this year. He's not going to be able to do every single race. It's just not, that would burn someone else. And not even all the F1 staff is at every single race. So. Again, Monaco has so many laps, but it's not the same length as a normal F1 race because it is Monaco. And I want to just one of the things that's going on right now is that we talked about. So it did rain overnight. We did have 3 races: an F3 race, an F2 signature feature race, and then we had a Porsche Cup, which is about 15 laps or so, 30 minutes time limit for that race. And then there was one of the things that we noticed about the track is that there was a crash during one of the races, and there were fluids on the track. They've been cleaned up, but obviously residue will remain on the track. Again, there is a weather system near the city. It is north moving east. It currently is slated to move past the city, but it is unpredictable. So if it heads any way south in any form, it can hit the track very easily. Again, what's interesting, if we get a rain during the question is how hard it hits. Obviously, we've got our intermediates. We have a new wet tire. It was supposed to be rolled out last week at Imola. Again, for obvious reason, Imola did not happen. But what's special about the new, it's a stronger wet tire, but it's also designed not to use the tire blankets. In fact, you're not using tire blankets on there. They're designed to just put them on the car and go. So if we get a wet race, they could be rolled out. Cars have lined up. The lights have not turned on yet. And here we go. We have 5 lights, and we're now racing in Monaco. And Max has got a good start ahead of. Looking through right now, clean through that first corner right now. Max has gotten a big jump. About 2 car lengths in front of Alonso. Ocon's right behind him, and you see, so I believe Tsunoda has moved up 1 spot. No, De Vries has moved back 1 spot, and there's been touch with one of the Williams. So they're in the sector 2. There is a yellow flag. We've gone back to green flags, and they are bouncing off each other around the hairpin. So some cars, have had touches and damage. Not sure how much. So we could see an early pit from some of those. And looking through I believe is the pool section, the swimming pool section of the race course. I'm looking through. Looking right now, and they've pretty much got into a train right now. Stroll reporting he's got a damage and a puncture. So he's probably one of the first who will be coming in to, new set of tires. Checo is in the pit lane. Hulkenberg is in the pit lane. Hulkenberg, Zhou, and Perez all have gone into the pits. Checo on hards. Trying to see what tires they went to. So Checo is on hards. I think Zhou is on hards. And I believe they all went to hards. So they have all. So Perez went from medium to hards. Zhou went from soft to hards, and Hulkenberg has gone from medium to hard. So they've again, race control is now an incident between Hulkenberg and Sargent. Not sure who is in the who's on the hot seat there in terms of regarding causing a collision. We'll get a moment when we'll get more information on that in a sec. So we are on our second lap right now. The leaders. Right now, Verstappen has gotten a second and a half lead on Alonso. Ocon has dropped back about 3 1/3 seconds. And they've now formed into a line based on that. Perez has jumped actually 2 places based on the pits. We're now on lap 3 and the DRS enabled. Zhou and Hulkenberg and Perez were the 3 who, for whatever reason, have come into the pits, have gone from 1 tire to hards. So we've seen some crazy things go on with those hard tires because they've pitted. Now, this is like the extreme undercut. What's going on here? And we have a race control. Russell is in the incorrect starting location, and that's interesting. Was he out of his box? That's something we'll take a look at in a sec. F1 is now showing a restart, a replay of the start, and from the beginning, Max just takes off. He gets around that first curve and he just shoots off. Again, the race is 76 laps. We're on lap 4 right now. And there was some bouncing. One of the Ferraris touched, I think, one of the. So looking at Lance Stroll and Sargent, and Stroll came in behind. Ooh, that's Stroll's fault. He came in and got his front tire behind the back tire of Sargent, and then hit the wall. And this took place around the hairpin. Looks like it took place around the hairpin where that collision took place. So it's interesting if they will give. Not sure which Williams that is, but it hit one of the Haas's. Yeah, not particularly a clean start, particularly in the back of the field for this race, but it's definitely has started off. We've got where we're at. Perez has set the fastest lap with a 1:16.387, which is on a hard, which is interesting. Perez is 30 seconds behind the leader, I believe the leader right now. Just taking a look in chat right now, what you've made any comments. And Nico Hulkenberg has a penalty. And it's going to be a 5-second penalty for him. And it's for causing a collision. So Hulkenberg in P20 right now is now further 20 seconds. I'm sorry, no, the further 5 seconds back via penalty. Will he take that in the penalty in the pit? That's to be seen. He's just gone to a hard tire. He could, in theory, if he nurses his tires, go the rest of the race. So it could be served at the end of the race if he doesn't go back into the pits. So we're now on to lap 6 right now, and the race has kind of somewhat stabilized a bit at the moment. Checo on a hard tire has set the fastest lap. And we're in about the 1:16s, 1:20s, 1:18, 19. So we're several seconds slower than we were during free practice and quali. One of the things that's showing right now is that the pit stop average time lost is going to be 19 seconds, and that's again during a green flag setting. If we get rain, if we get a yellow flag, or even a red flag, this is all going to change. That changes that mathematics, but still. No. I'm talking about if he has to stop again, he will have to serve the penalty. It's not a stop and go into the pits. That's what I meant by going to the pits. He's going to go in and he is stopping for a reason. It's not a go in the pits type scenario. We've got Mercedes asking for rain. I'm sorry, McCreed. My apologies. It could happen. It is, again, it was a 20% chance in forecasting. It is likely, but it may not happen. It's just, again, it is just pure luck if it rains at this point. And Max has now jumped to a 2.5-second lead. So basically the scenario with Russell incorrect starting position was reviewed. They're not doing anything else in that regards with what happened on the start with him. So he is safe from any other penalties. The expectation window for medium tires is around between 30 and 38. So that's something to keep on. Like again, Verstappen is on a medium tire. Ocon is on a medium tire. But Alonso, Sainz, and Leclerc are on hard tires. Gasly's on a hard tire. So Alpine is on two different tire strategies. So is Hamilton, Leclerc. I'm sorry, Hamilton's on a medium and Russell's on a hard. So they're on different tire strategies. So is between Norris is on a medium, Piastri's on a hard. So we got teams splitting their tire strategies. One of the ideal strategy is basically the one stopper. And right now it is, again, only Zhou started on a soft tire. He's now gone to hard based on it. So one of the strategies was start on soft, go to hards. The other strategy is to start on hards, get them as far as into the race as you can, and then at the end jump to either a medium or a soft tire. Yes, again, the Perez, Zhou, and Hulkenberg are the three that have pitted. We've got 12,000 of you watching right now. I want to thank you very much for coming and watching the race with us. We've got about almost 1,000 likes so far. Thank you for that as well. Meow, hello there. What have I missed? The beginning of the race. Max basically got a big lead. It was 1.5 seconds. Now gone to 2.5 seconds. The back of the grid was dirty and messy and ugly, and there were collisions up and board. And that resulted, Sargent was involved with that. Perez, and it ended with Perez, Zhou, and Hulkenberg pitting. And I should note, Hulkenberg got a 5-second penalty for his go-kart antics, I should say. So right now we've got Ocon slowing everyone down. Yeah, he is right now. So we go from Verstappen to Alonso. Alonso's only three seconds behind now. That's at the Verstappen. And then Ocon is another 11 seconds back. Yeah, that's where the DSR train is starting, is Ocon right now. So we're at now 10 laps of the 78 race, and that's where things stand. We've got Verstappen pretty far ahead, almost 3 seconds ahead of Alonso right now. It's bouncing between 0.2 0.2 of a second, depending on where they are on the track. So Alonso's on the radio with his team. That's why I was trying to listen to that. It's good news for him that where he could be a little more aggressive with his car, with what the engineer is talking about, which he's going to need because he's now 3.2 seconds farther back. So Max is gaining time on Alonso. Again, he is on the medium tire, so that is somewhat to be expected. Got a couple of you who are Max fans in chat right now. Dave Eddy is reporting that the race is on ABC. That would make sense because it is Monaco, and so it's a bigger importance. They would put this on ABC. Just so you know, ABC is the parent, basically in terms of broadcasting. Disney is the parent company of ABC, but ABC also owns ESPN, ESPN Plus, part of Hulu as well. Owns part of Hulu. But ESPN is the sports arm of ABC essentially. And so for it to be on ABC means that they're bringing a wider audience. Oh, Sainz almost hit Ocon. Oh my God. Sainz almost crashed into the back of Ocon. This would happened around, I think, the major chicane. Oh, and he's got damage. There's damage on Sainz. The part of the left front wing, and he's gonna come in. He's gonna put. They've got the nose cone out already for him. So we are a yellow flag in sector 1. Let's see if something else has happened in that. I believe it may be because of his debris is on the track in that sector. But we'll hold on. Oh my God. So yeah, Ferrari. Don't know what to tell you right now. Science. Those who predicted that Leclerc is going to beat Sainz, you're going to be right because Sainz is going to pit right now for a new cone, a new front wing and cone. He's on hards already, so he would have to go to if he switches tires, he's going to be going to a two-stop strategy. So the track has gone to a green flag. So the question is, when is Sainz coming in? When is Sainz coming in? All right, so they're putting the wing back. So they're gonna continue racing without. So the damaged portion of his wing is that the wings come out and there's the winglets that on the very end, and Sainz has lost the front left winglet on his wing. That's the damage that he's had. They have decided to keep him out. Oh, Alonso just on checking, asking if he's got a puncher. Engineers are saying they're going to look at it. Race control is looking into what happened with Sainz and Ocon, whether Sainz is going to get a penalty. So engineers are saying to Alonso that everything's looking okay for him. Um, since that, Max has jumped to a almost 5.5 second lead over him, which is it's immense at this point. Oh my God. Yeah, we come to watch a race to see what happens, because you never know what's going to happen. We've got Sainz with wing damage. We've got Alonso dropping on Max, which is unfortunate. Um, we have a yellow flag in sector 1 right now. I'm not sure the reason why just yet. Oh, Sainz was trying to pass Ocon just before the chicane, and yeah. Wow. And so again, they're showing a replay of that. Ocon saying there was no space for them both. No, 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 that was pretty obvious. Oh, Hamilton hit the wing plate. Leclerc also hit the wing plate and that. So the winglet came off. The incident happened at the chicane, and then in Casino Square, where the winglet came off. Hamilton and both Leclerc hit that going through that section. So we've got damage on multiple cars. We've got significant damage on Sainz's car. He's under an investigation for causing an incident. We'll see if he gets a penalty or not. People are crazy about Sainz fire that guy. Oh no, you guys want to fire everyone this weekend apparently. Um, Yesterday, and the biggest story coming out. The story coming out is um, basically that Leclerc basically got a 3 place penalty because of impeding Norris. Overnight, basically the Twitterverse has basically like fire the engineer. Um, get rid of Charles. Fire the engineer. So on Russell's radio, they have the medium runners complaining about graining, basically the degradation on their tires. So Carlos is not getting a penalty, but he is getting what is the black and white. It's a penalty. It's a warning. It's a warning, not a penalty. So he's got the black and white. Not increasing the gap. It's unfortunate because we're looking for more of a race. He's increasing his gap from Hamilton, from Alonso, Ocon, from the group. Almost, which was last time I looked at it was about 3 seconds. It's now almost 7 seconds, and he's picking up more time on Alonso. Again, Verstappen's on the medium tire right now, and Alonso's on a hard tire, and so we've got that difference going on at the moment. Ocon is almost so the distance from Verstappen to Ocon, 19 seconds. So, oh, 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 Magnussen. So Magnussen just passed Sargent, and it wasn't F1 said it was clean. It was not clean at all. It was ugly, and it was around the hairpin turn. So we'll see if any questions about what happened there because they looked like there may have been touching going on. Sainz is now get so the black flag with orange disc. That is the mechanical flag. I don't believe Sainz is going to get them. And here we go. We've got so so we just had Stroll pass Sargent, and then Perez take advantage of that and passed Sargent as well. So Stroll is 16th, Perez 17th, Sargent 18th. Sargent has just lost 2 places in the last 5 seconds. Right now, we've got Zhou Guanyu basically stalking Sargent right now. So we've got Albon, Bottas, and Magnussen in a line right up. Bottas stalking on Albon right now. Ooh. Yeah. So what happened with Sargent is basically Stroll managed to get past him. Oh, and Bottas has just passed Albon. And he did so in the hairpin. So again, you have to have nerves of steel to do it, but you can pass. Albon has now gone into the pit. Trying to see what was there a tire change or so the question is what is going on with Sargent's car? What's going on in his regards? Here we go. So it looks like the science engineer is trying to bluff Ocon to come in. They brought the team out. They lined them up for a pit. Wow, so Ferrari's trying to bluff Ocon to pit early. Yeah, Jose, they were getting ready at the Ferrari garage. I think it was more of a bluff on to get to see if they could get Ocon to blink. It didn't work, and they've now gone back into the garage. Sargent has now come into the pits. He's going to be dropping back to last place on the grid. And trying to see what. And Sargent has now gone to our hard tire. Todd in chat, I'm looking at chat right now. Has Merck admitted the zero pies reports on? Yes, they have. Very much so. Problem is that they can't fix the car because the current chassis that they're using was designed with the zero side pod design, and the best they can do right now with that car is to retrofit it. So essentially, they are referring to it as the Frankenfurter. This is the W14B car that they have is been wrecked. So after Miami, they brought it back to the factory, made many changes to the car. pending for Imola. Obviously, Imola didn't happen, so now they're showing up. That's why they're showing up here on Monaco. Looking through right now. We've got a couple people saying that Alpine Power should coming soon. Let's see. Hopefully, if I move my microphone a little bit closer to me, it'll be easier for you to listen. Oh. So thank you for telling me that my voice is cutting out. What lap is it right now? It's lap 23 of 78. Currently, Perez has the fastest lap. He set that, I think, like around lap 5 after he pitted for hard tires. So the question right now is when Max is going to pit. He's 7 laps away from that optimal pit window, beginning of that optimal pit window. But he will come out. He will probably be ahead of Ocon, most likely. It is a good question if that's the case. The question is, when does Alonso pit? Because he's on a hard tire. Time loss in pit is about 19 seconds. Laps are showing on as usual. Basically, if you look at the driver, the next row over is the lap counter. It's by driver. So you can look down at the bottom. Albon and Sargent have already dropped down. They're on one lap. They're a lap behind already, and at some point they will probably get grayed out because they're behind. They're already a lap behind. Right now, we got Stroll stalking on Magnussen at the moment. He's about a half a second behind him at the moment. Perez is another 0.6 behind Stroll. So there's the battle for 14th going on at the moment. Weather conditions right now, it is clear and it's clear on the track. It is overcast. But there's no rain on the track right now. It's during the practices it was very bright and sunny. It's not so sunny it was. We do know that there is a weather system in the area. If it is moving, it's north right now, moving east. If it drops south, then it will head over the track. As of right now, we have no word whether that has happened. So right now, the between the science radio, that there's more tire degradation on this track than expected, and that means that those windows are going to come down. We're not going to see a high 30 on the medium tires. We'll see we'll probably see in the next 5 to 7 laps those medium tire runners. Finally, those tires going off. The hard tire window is 53 through 58. That's information provided by AWS on the F1 stream. We probably would see it's more closer to the 53 than it is to that more so. This may mean that and Sargent has gone to a soft tire, which is interesting. That's an interesting choice of a tire. It means at this point they are having him do what he can do. He's again he's so far behind. He's like 30 seconds behind his teammate. So I guess they're just using that soft tire to get him up as close as possible. But what we're seeing is where the optimal strategy that the hope for would be hard to soft. We're now the strategy because of the tire degradation. The softs may not be as viable a tire on this circuit for a reasonable stint. So we may be seeing hards to mediums on those cars. So Sainz asked about the range, and the response was about 45 minutes, but the risk keeps slowing down. So so there is a potential rain to hit, but it is getting less and less likely as this race goes on. We've got an interesting question about the F1 Monaco. Which marina do you like? Do you like the Monaco marina or the? So the the I'm laughing at the moment because the McLaren over Lando's radio basically told him that a Class 1 rain on lap 35. What Class 1 means, I don't know. It's our plan E of the race, apparently. So we've got the what's called a box overtake icon on Sainz's radio. The last time they did that, that was pretty much a There's another fake out on the radio. You guys are suggesting that is light rain, possible light rain, but without actually knowing what they're saying, we are pretty much guessing on what that means. Even the commentators on F1 TV basically are saying that they're like, well, what does that mean? So you got a replay of Max currently on medium tire. And he's not saying his front left is not very pretty. There is some graining on that tire, which is why that's happening. Again, he's been on that tire for almost 27 laps, so he's at the end of that, really the lifespan on that tire now. We've got a question of can we fast forward to simulate this race? Unfortunately, this is not manager. So Max is saying that he's going to lose a lot of time on that tire. Engineer said he understood what he was saying pretty much. So Ocon's engineer just basically said, keep what you're doing to him, and that whatever he's doing is frustrating Ferrari behind them. Looking at anyone who's, again, we've got Bottas, Magnussen, Stroll within, and Perez all within a second, less than a second of each other. Everyone else is above a second step minus Albon on Zhou. So one of the things that's coming up with Verstappen right now, he is coming up on the back of traffic right now. He on track, literally. I believe Hulkenberg. Let me just check. Yeah, Hulkenberg. It's basically Verstappen, Hulkenberg, Perez. So Perez is about to be lapped by Verstappen in a few minutes. So we're getting conflicting reports about the weather. Some people are like, it might not rain. Some are more like it will be light. So this is something to keep. Again, we're only lap 31 of 78. So there's there's potential for total chaos with rain at the very end of this race. If you guys remember the last Sochi race, Lando was in first place until he didn't pit for those tires and skidded off and fell out of contention. Right now, the prediction right now is that Perez is probably will be lapped by. He's got to get past Hulkenberg, but he's past Hulkenberg, and he is now behind. Yep, there it goes. Max is just past Checo, and that's again, Checo has got the blue flag, which means he's required to pull over and get it. He's required to pull over to let Max pass in that scenario. Alonso has a fastest sector, I believe it's sector 1 time. So basically, he's now pushing on his tires, which can be expected with the hard tires. Looking right now at what's going on with the race, trying to give you a better. Leclerc was under a second. He's now popped above a second behind Hamilton. Again, we've got the train of Bottas, Magnus Stroll, Perez to a certain extent. Hamilton is boxing. Hamilton started with medium tires, and he's probably going to hard tires. So Hamilton is set for the end of this race with the tires that he's got. And that was a 3-second stop for Hamilton, which, okay, not bad. Again, we're now at 32 laps into the 78 race. We've got about 8,000 of you watching right now. Thank you so much. We've broken 1,000, almost 1,200 likes already. Thank you so much. Again, this is not Ryan. This is Grash. I'm in for him this weekend. I hope you are enjoying the race with me. Hoping I'm doing a good job for you. So the last big incident, I should not say the last big thing that happened in the race is Hamilton pitted, and he's gone to hard tires. He started on mediums. Ocon is in the pits now. He has gone from mediums. Oh, it's a slow pit. It's a 4.2 pit. Oh, that's a horrible pit for Ocon. Not sure exactly what happened. He went from mediums to hards as well. Yeah, Ryan is much better, but he's got more experience than me and he's got more energy. But hey, I'm doing what I can do. Again, that's going to be interesting. That's going to drop Ocon probably behind Sainz when. Oh. So. Okay, so the scenario just happened is that Perez was trying to going into the chicane. Oh, he touches Stroll and bounces off. Yeah, he bounces off Stroll and cuts the chicane because there's no other safe place for him to go. What's interesting is that Max was just ahead of him by maybe a quarter of a second. So it is crazy. Sainz is now coming into the pits. Sainz goes to. Look at where Sainz. So Ocon manages, despite his bad pit, he managed to stay ahead. Racing Control is looking at what happened with Perez and Stroll. Again, part of it is that he left the track and got ahead of Stroll. Stroll is now back ahead of Perez, so I think that whatever happened there, is a moot point at this point because the incident happened, but Stroll's now back ahead of Perez. So right now, our top five of Verstappen, Alonso, Leclerc, Gasly, and Russell have not pitted. The next group is through Tsunoda through Magnussen. So we've got a mumble of people who have pitted, who have not pitted, and a few people who have, wow. So, oh my God, Checo's wing just went under the Haas's back tire and is destroyed. Part of the wing comes off and bounces off of Stroll's car. Oh my God, Perez is not having a good weekend this weekend. This is sloppy driving, and we've not usually seen of him. Trying to take a look at what looks of Checo's car. He probably is okay to stay out. They're pulling him in. They've called the box, and they're going to come in and they're going to do a wing change. So what would have been a 19-second stop is going to be much longer because they're changing out the wing. Checo is going to medium tires. Checo is going to medium tires with a wing change. And the pit stop is 11 seconds. Again, huge because of 11. The incident between Perez and reviewed, no further investigation. Again, like I said, the place was given back, so they basically, the stewards are saying moot point to continue. So again, not much going on at the top of the race. We've got Verstappen and Alonso 7 seconds behind. Ooh, Sainz is mad. He's lost again. Part of the reason is that he's lost his overtaking opportunity on Arcon, and yeah. Stroll has just let Alonso pass again. Blue flag scenario. So that's where give you an idea where Alonso is in the pack going forward. So right now, Piastri is the next one that's still on the lead lap. He's over a second behind, or almost a second already behind Verstappen. As Verstappen goes up, he's going to be blue flagged. So we're going to see a lot of cars not fall off of the lead lap. The stories are coming up. We're on lap 37. So Albon's being told a risk of rain with 20 laps to go. Yeah, we've hit. We're about the halfway mark of the race. Stroll just hit the back of Magnussen. Stroll manages to keep it on track and keep going. Looking at the tires, tires look okay. He did touch the back of his car. Oh man, this has been a crazy race. Stroll says he's got damage, but what damage is the better question. We'll see what the engineers say. We are still under green flag. It didn't cause a yellow flag scenario. Everyone's getting K-Mag. Yeah, it's been bouncy balls cars for this race so far. Yeah, this back section of the grid has just been an ugly race for them. Touching, bouncing, collisions galore. So far, again, we're getting a replay of Lance coming up. Oh, he touches, but it doesn't look like anything came off the car. His wing got touched, but it wasn't damaged. The wing didn't come off like the other cars have had. So right now, where we're at right now, Verstappen is ahead of Alonso of 8.6 seconds, but Verstappen's on a medium tire and Alonso's on a hard tire. So what we will see is that later in the race, Alonso's going to have a tire advantage because he's most likely going to go to a medium tire where Max will be on a hard tire. But again, the curveball in all of this is when we get another 30, 20 laps or so, we're just hit lap 40. If we get another 18 laps where we'll be in that 50, 58, the last 20 laps. Is rain going to come? Is it going to hit the track and mess up everything that we know so far? So yeah, still a lot to, we're just past the halfway mark. Race control is looking at the Magnussen Stroll incident. So the big issue is that for most people, if they started on the mediums, they are jumping to the hards for the rest of the race. That's like Hamilton is an example there. Whereas Max is on that strategy, but he's still on his medium. He's pushing the medium further than he expected. Whereas Alonso, he has started on the hard tire, and is he going to go, to the medium? The further he goes on the hard tire, the more likely it becomes not going from the medium, it actually just going to the softs. The only one who's been on the soft right now is Sargent. He's down. He's been on 15 laps on that soft tire so far, and he has improved his time. Again, back of the grid, but still. Taking a look at where you guys are talking on. It's risky to go on soft with rain coming. It is risky. That is the risk. What if it rains? What depends how the chart will change. It's when the rain comes, if it comes. The question is who jumps on. It becomes a question of who jumps on the intermediates or wets. Who stays out, who goes on. Where did they come on too early? Did they come on too late? That's one of the big questions. That's where the chaos of the rain comes on. And then on top of it, if people have stayed out on softs, the slicks, too long, they can cause a safety car or a red flag. And if the rain comes in during that red, and that's one of the things that we've seen is that we've had an incident where. Again, last year in Brazil, quali, I believe Russell basically had caused a red flag incident when the rain was coming in, and then basically wiped out the track and locked in all the times. That's how Magnussen got his pole last year. So that's where the rain becomes a chaos factor. We won't know until it comes in. It's still, again, depending on different reports, like 18 or so laps out from when it might start appearing on track. And again, right now, per the rules, they are required to have one tire change. So there are some people who are on the hards. Again, Alonso's on the hards, hasn't pitted yet. So he has a pit he has to make. Whereas someone like Hamilton has pitted and he's on the hards, he can go the rest of the race because he's pitted. Right now, the F1 commentary is joking that we may not need the rain to cause chaos because Magnussen and Stroll might cause that chaos themselves. Again, they're investigating that, and the question is, will Stroll get a penalty for that contact with Magnussen a few laps ago? Yeah, Max's tires are still going. I'm not seeing. Russell's complaining about Gasly backing him up. Yeah, Max is still rocking medium tires. We know that in terms of tire degradation, Ferrari has the worst in terms of the field. Red Bull has found a way to make those tires last. Again, he's also driven in a way that he doesn't have to push as hard as other people on the grid. So he's made it last 44 laps. So the question is, so what this? So Max is not sure how long he can keep it up with the mediums. Again, he's gone 44. He's gone beyond the window that we expected. So right now we've got a question of track position and tire. It is, again, when Verstappen goes. So he's basically trying to keep his gap above 5 seconds right now is what they're trying to say. But what we need to be looking at right now is how far the Alonso can push on Max at the moment. Right now it's a 9.1 second gap. Leclerc is 24 seconds. So basically, Leclerc is coming into the pit for. And Leclerc is going on to medium tires. So now the one person, so after Alonso, the one person behind him is Gasly, 25 seconds. So Max, if he pits, the only person he's got to worry about is Alonso. The thing is that Alonso, basically, he can push on those hard tires much longer. And again, the issue is at the end of this race, Max will go to one particular tire, and Alonso's going to go to a different tire with an advantage. How many laps for a complete race? It is 78 laps, and we're on lap 45. So there are 23 laps left in this race. So like Leclerc, who just pitted for mediums. So mediums are going to last him the rest of his race. So he's going to have a tire advantage, whereas Hamilton pitted for mediums much earlier on. Max is having a wonderful race. He's doing what he needs to do from pole to where he is right now. And the question is, was this the right tire strategy given what may happen at the end of the race? Job says that it's starting to look like Max might go to soft, and that's something that could happen. I could see happening. So Alonso's being told rain in about 15 laps, so that would put it at lap 60. So if rain is coming, so this is where the tire strategy comes in. If rain is coming, they think rain is going to come around lap 60. They're going to just keep Alonso on those hard tires as long as possible. And when when that rain comes in, they'll push him to the intermediates or the wets, depending on the scenario, and that he will probably finish the race on intermediates. Yeah, Max on a medium tire for almost 50 laps. That is crazy. That's insanely long. And I think right now, because of the rain, I think they're basically pushing those tires beyond what you expected. So the question is how long those medium tires are going to last and whether Max has to pit. We've got a shot of rain, and it is marching in slowly. There's a couple rings there's a circle, center circle. The outer edge of that rain is in that center circle. So it is marching south. We've got a new fastest sector 3 for Leclerc, and it looks like Hamilton has taken fastest lap. Ooh, does he touch it? No. Oh, he paper thin with an Oscar going by the apex. We've had people hit that area. Gasly's now pitting right now. And Gasly's going to mediums. So as we stand right now, Verstappen, Alonso, Russell are the top 3 who have not pitted yet. We have a set from Tsunoda down to Stroll who haven't pitted as well. Gasly's coming back, and he's going to be coming out behind Leclerc, P8. Yeah. At this point, because the rain is so close to the track, the strategy right now for Verstappen is to keep him out as long as possible, even past functional tire. Have him just keep those tires, baby the tires as he can. I'm just looking at right now. Again, Alonso's still a 9.1 second behind him on hard tires. So, again, Russell is yet to pit. Russell, I believe I think he was on a hard tire as well. Yeah, a hard tire. So he's another one who is going to again, he's 26 seconds behind. He is probably going to stay out there as long as possible, like with Alonso. Will pit as the rain comes in for slicks. The question is, will Max be able to hold on with those medium tires to when effectively another 11 laps, and then pit for intermediates as rain comes in. Ooh, Magnussen taps the wall. Not just a love tap, but not much. Slowing him down just a little bit. No damage to the car. Dude, look, why are people obsessed with Max? Max is currently leading the race. Bottom line. So they're saying that around the hairpin, turn 6 through turn 8, there may be drops of rain already there. In from chat, how is it possible for Max Verstappen's car to be so efficient, so fast? It's actually crazy. Yes, I don't know how he's managing. To use basically a medium tire like it's a hard tire. So Russell's saying it's now starting to spit in turn 3. So the track is still relatively dry. Can't really tell you much in terms, or not, if there's any. Oh, there's a little. I saw it just drop going into the tunnel. So we are about to get rain. I'm just watching right now, trying to give you a better indication what's going on. I'm looking to see if there's any drops of rain on screen. We've got Norris coming in for his pit. So Norris has gone to hards. Yeah, and it's now spitting outside the pit lane exit. What? So the question is, what did McLaren think of the rain? Because they just brought him in for hards, with that weather potentially coming in. In chat, we says Alonso needs to push more. Definitely, Alonso needs to push more. Oh, he's lost 2 seconds, and we've got what looks like Stroll and Magnussen. So basically, you're asking Max, does he need the box? Here. So, Sainz has to go past the chicane. Russell's going to box. So we got Sainz being dangerous around Ocon again at the chicane. He doesn't make it. Bottas is pitting. Stroll is pitting. I'm trying to see what Stroll has a 2.8. Bottas has an 8.4 second pit. Oh my God. So umbrellas are not coming up. So the rain is coming in. It is a drizzle right now, but Here we go. 53 of 78 laps, and we have rain. Oh my God, they're slipping back and forth. Verstappen says he's going to try super slow because his tires are gone. His what he said. Sainz trying to pass Ocon again around the chicane. So Bottas and Stroll are on intermediates. So Ferrari is ready with intermediate tires. Bottas and Stroll are getting positions. Zhou and Albon are pitted. Zhou is 3.4 pit stop. Oh my God. Ooh, they are slipping back and forth, which just looked like Ocon just had a moment of the back end. Ooh, Sainz moving back and forth, going through the tunnel section now. And Sainz is still trying to pass Ocon. They're through the chicane. Alonso going to medium tires. Alonso going to medium tires. He is going on medium tires. This is going to be interesting. Russell's coming to the pit. Ocon should gone to the pit. Hamilton's coming to the pit. So we got a double stack for Mercedes. So which way does Russell go with his tires? And he goes with it. So Russell went on intermediate tires. Ocon on intermediate tires. Hamilton on intermediate tires. And we have a sector 2. Sainz. Oh, Sainz. Sainz went off track. Max will be boxing for intermediates. So we went back to a yellow flag scenario. Went from yellow to green. We're now back to yellow in sector 2. Not sure if that's resolved yet. Sainz is going to be boxing. Max is now pitting. We are back to green flag conditions. Yep. And Ferrari is fighting who's getting to the first pit box, unfortunately. We've got another yellow flag in sector 2 again. I'm not sure what is happening in that sector. Alonso pitting again. And he's going to go to the intermediates. It's a double stack. Leclerc is going to go first. And then now Sainz out of the pits. So we've gone all across. We still have the yellow flag in sector 2. I don't know why that is the scenario. Oh, and the rain has come down, and we're back to green flag conditions. And then a yellow flag again in yellow sector 2. I wonder what is going back to green flag. I wonder if something's faulty going on with yellow, getting the yellow flags. Oh, those tires are not to temperature yet. They're sliding. You can see the back ends. They're adjusting. They're jumping into place. Oh, Max actually hit the wall, and that was before he came into the pit. Now we have watching Sainz coming in, and Sainz does a slide, and he slides into the runoff area. This is while he was on slicks. Lance Stroll hairpin. Oh, loses his wing in the hairpin. Oh, and he slides down the hairpin, and finally his wing completely comes off. So that is where we were getting those yellow flags. We have gone back to green flags. We are now lap 57, 78. The track is wet, and the tires have not come up to temperature yet. So as it stands right now, we have Verstappen first, Alonso second, Ocon third, Hamilton fourth, Russell fifth. The Ferrari is a sixth, Gasly is seventh, Sainz is eighth. With Ferrari being sixth and eighth, that is just horrendous. The bottom line, it's just straight up horrendous. The only one who is still on a slick tire is Magnussen on a hard. And we're watching him try and navigate the course. Why is he not pitted? He's now being passed by his teammate. Oh my God, Magnussen has lost 20 seconds on his last lap because he's on those hard tires. Stroll is out. What has happened? So turn 5. So unsafe rejoin between Russell and Perez. So Stroll has damaged his car enough that he is out of the race. Magnussen right now is still on hard tires. Will he spin out? That is one of the big questions at the moment. And again, Alonso pitted for mediums, and then a few laps later pitted again for intermediates. And there we go. There is Hulk. Magnussen is. Oh, he backed up unsafely. So he hit the wall, but he is still moving. So we're back to green flag, and he's now going into the pits finally for intermediates. But he has damaged his car. I don't know what else to say. And they're going to put a new wing on Magnussen's car, and it wasn't ready. It wasn't ready. And they're showing replays of Magnussen slipping, sliding across this track. Oh my God. Oh my God. So right now we have Verstappen, Alonso, Ocon in that top scenario. Looks like Hamilton. Oh, Sargent and hairpin hit the. So they are moving towards. We may see them pit again for full wets. The intermediates apparently not working. Again, these new Perez is in the pits. He may be the first one of those new full wets. Perez is on full wets, on the new wets. Magazine is on the full wets now. These are new wet tires that do not need to be heated up. They are intended to put on and go. Sargent is being investigated for speeding in the pit lane. That's probably did happen. Is probably going to get a penalty for that. They are still investigating between Russell and Perez a unsafe rejoin. Russell's going to get a 5-second penalty for the unsafe rejoin. And the rain is coming down. And we're at the point now where the intermediates are at their peak of what they can push off the car. Again, the issue with the tires in the rain is basically how much water can they, funnel past the car. There's a certain point when if it rains so much, those intermediates are not going to be effective, and that's why we have the full wets. We are seeing these new full wets. These are, again, the construction of these wets are designed so that they do not need to be heated like the intermediates do. So will Magnussen get an advantage because of those? Yellow flag in sector 1. We'll see what. And it's which Haas is this? And Magnussen is in one of the escape zones. He's backing up out of it now. What happened to Russell? 5-second penalty. Unsafe rejoin to the track. And Magnussen is in a. So we're watching what happened with Russell. Russell came out and Checo basically hit him. That is why Russell got the 5-second penalty. It is totally his fault. He came out into the lane of traffic and who was that? Max? The cars are just slipping and sliding around here. Showing a replay of Lowe's and Sargent coming to a stop. The intermediates are not doing what they need to be doing in a lot of these places. So Max's his lap times have dropped significantly. Again, they did a 141. Alonso did a 140. So Alonso is gaining on Max. It's a matter of, is he going to be able to overtake? Because he's just driving with more gutso right now, more grit. So in here, Imagine American tell you that IndyCar is much better than this. Well, I'll tell you right now, with this is chaos right now, and you normally don't get this level of chaos in F1. You will get that level of chaos in IndyCar, a normal IndyCar race. So we get someone who came off the track and two. Oh, Max is just struggling to keep his car straight and around the track without hitting the walls. The problem with the intermediates is that they're losing temperature because they're sliding. You need the forward momentum to put the temperature into the tire, apparently, and that's the issue that we're having. They're just sliding back and forth, and it's a lot of wiggle going on. And Max is just not driving as fast. So Max has gotten back up to a 19-second gap to Alonso. If this track is getting worse and there's more work coming in, he could pit again for wets and stay ahead of Alonso. He's in that range right now. Wow, he's going into the tunnel section. He's wiggling just as he goes in. Oh boy. Trying to see where else right now. Who are people close? Hamilton is 2 seconds from Ocon. Gasly is 2.5 seconds to Leclerc. Sainz is 1.5 off of Gasly. There's a big jump. Tsunoda's 45 seconds, so it's a big jump there. Looking down, and we're showing Lance Stroll now out of his car, walking back to the pit lane by the marina. Cruz, call off failure. Oh yeah, it's come very ugly, very fast. So at this point in the race, Hamilton has the fastest lap, and basically that was set many laps ago on a dry circuit. So right now, so Russell has a 5-second gap. So over Russell's right, they're saying that the rain is going to reduce, so this is going to put advantage to the intermediate tires. So we're at 15 laps to go. Hey. Again, I was taking a double take because the F1 stream was showing that Piastri was on a soft tire. He's not. He's on an intermediate. Hulkenberg has a penalty. So Hulkenberg has a 10-second penalty for not serving his original penalty correctly. And this is not a good day for the Haas's. They are effectively 19th and 17th, and there is no way that at this point Magazine's going to catch up to Sargent, who's almost half a minute ahead of him. As it stands right now, we have Verstappen, Alonso, and Ocon 1, 2, 3 on the podium. No, Max is on intermediates at this point. I'm just watching right now. Russell asking for take a shot at Ocon, so he's basically asking for team orders to let Hamilton let him pass, so he can go after Ocon. Again, that's what's important is that he does have that 5-second penalty to go, and that's why he's saying for that team pass orders. Hamilton is though he is going for Ocon himself. So again, because the track is wet, we are not going to see DRS. DRS is not going to be enabled. So don't worry about, again, Hamilton's under a second, but he's not going to get a DRS advantage for that. Looking at things in chat right now. Again, 7,500 are watching right now. Thank you so much for being with us as we go through this chaos, this last few laps of this race. We've got over 1,400 likes. Thank you so much. Again, this is Crash. Again, Ryan is going to be back in next race. He did qualification yesterday, so. What we haven't had is the total complete wipeout on the track to cause a yellow flag. Engineers are telling him to use his brakes, but he says he knows, and he's. So the pressure that's coming on Yuki is that Norris is within a second with him, and this is, again, we're fighting this. This is between the battle between 9th and 10th place between those two. On track right now, Sainz is within a second of Gasly right now as well. As it stands right now, the only driver who is out is Lance Stroll, who didn't get his intermediates up to temperature. It has rained and the track is wet still. Everyone is on intermediates except for Perez, Hulkenberg, and Magnussen. They are on the new wet compound. And Perez is reporting that the track is drying up. So will we move back to slicks in the last 10 laps of this race? Ooh. We're watching right now, Yuki and Norris. Who is... Trying to see who is behind Norris. And it's Piastri. And then Piastri might be a Sargent, who's multiple laps behind. So the fight right now is between where things is. We've got Hamilton 1.3 seconds behind Ocon. Russell another 1.3 behind Hamilton. Then Leclerc is 8 seconds behind. Gasly is 3 seconds behind Leclerc. Sainz is 1 second behind Gasly. And Norris is going to get Tsunoda. And Gasly did cut the chicane. So he will get a warning for that. Yep, Gasly track limits. F1 is now reporting that the track is dried and they're going about 2 seconds faster on each lap right now. So what you will see is that some of the drivers are going to weave onto the wetter section of the track to help. Oh. So just showing the replay of Lando going past the, he basically did on like the first turn, the pit and exits, and got on the got past Yuki and then got on the acceleration to get away. Now Piastri's going to try. He's going to pass Yuki now. So Yuki has now dropped to P11, his consistent P11 slot. So Piastri is in the points. Norris in the points, having both passed Tsunoda. Oh, Yuki just went into the off ramp, and he's going to be losing much more than this. Bottas is going to pass him. So we have yellow flag in sector 1, sector 2. And this is basically on the cusp of the sector 1, sector 2. This is where Perez crashed yesterday. So after this, Tsunoda has dropped another place. De Vries has gone up has gone up to P12. So Tsunoda lost 2 places on going off the track. I'm just looking right now. Gamer Camping says Ocon deserves a P3 more than Hamilton. Yeah, he pretty much does. And right now, Hamilton is now dropped to 3 seconds behind Ocon. So it's less likely that he is going after him than before. So the question is, are they going to push? Tsunoda yelling about his brakes, swearing as usual. So as it stands right now, is very much looking like Ocon is going to keep that third P3 position. Hamilton is moving up. So Max is saying he doesn't see anything but using the inners to the end of the race. He could have pitted for something else. He's got 25 seconds on Alonso. Ocon is another 16 seconds behind, and then Hamilton is improved to 2 seconds. So it looks like we're going to finish this race on inners. And we've got 7 laps to go. And yeah, the map will glitch every so. It's now back. Again, right now, the only car that is out is Stroll, who couldn't get his temperatures into his inners and managed to crash out. Oh, Max has clipped the wall. Max has clipped the wall. They're asking his engineers to check if everything's okay. So, And even while he's clipped the wall, he has a almost 25-second gap on Alonso now. So now, if for Max, this is a matter of survival to get to the end of the race. Oh. So Max is coming up on Hulkenberg and Perez. They're Hulkenberg stalking Perez at the moment. At some point, Max is they're going to have to blue flag. So ultimately, basically, they had to Perez and Hulkenberg were blue flagged. Max gets by, and it gives Hulkenberg a chance to try and pass Perez. He doesn't do it as they go through the chicane. But Perez has been told to come into box. Again, Perez is on the wet tire, and he's coming to intermediates. So Hulkenberg is going to gain a place based on that pitting scenario. And Perez does a 3.4 stop for intermediates. And Perez is going to come out behind Alonso, not in front of him, unfortunately. We've got 5 laps left to go in the race. The closest between two drivers right now is Sainz to Gasly. He's a 1.2. Albon is a 1.2 to Zhou. And then we've got significant gaps between everyone else. This has been an ugly race, everyone. Just to remind you that Russell still has a 5-second penalty, though Leclerc is 9 seconds behind him. So he's going to keep his 5th position spot as it stands right now. Yeah, at this point, Max should easily win the race if he doesn't do something stupid. He's already tapped the wall 2 laps ago, so it is a matter of. And the other issue that's going on is that the track is drying up. So how much of the track, the intermediates should be able. What happens is when the intermediates go onto a dry track, they can become slicks. So what? We've got one of the Alpines passing a Williams blue flag scenario. And what you're going to see is that a lot of drivers are going to be going off the race line, the dry line, so that they are getting some wet, some water onto their tire to cool it down a little bit. This is so to help extend the lifespan of the intermediates. The intermediates can, when they get on, they can become slicks again. How does it become slicks? Basically, there are grooves. You can't see it because of the speed, but there are grooves in on those intermediates, and as they use up the tire, those grooves are going to go away, and they become essentially a pseudo slick tire. I'm just looking at what you guys are saying in chat right now. Yeah, it's called interslicks. It's the term when a intermediate becomes that pseudo slick tire. And we're now 3 laps left to go, and I think the race has settled down and stabilized, where this is unless something happens, unless someone, I think most of the teams have told their drivers to calm down at this point. I don't think anyone's like, again, but I don't think we're going to get Sainz going on Gasly type scenario. I could be wrong, but I have been wrong before. But I'm not sure we're going to see any craziness in these last few laps per se. But we'll keep an eye on what's going on. Magnussen has gone to the pits. He's probably ditching his wets for, I don't know, something. I'm not sure it really matters very much, given how far he's behind Sargent at the moment. The only one who's left on the wet tire is Hulkenberg, and at this point, he's 34 seconds behind Tsunoda. Perez is, he would drop several spots. It's irrelevant at that point. And they are retiring one of the Haas's. Yeah. Yeah, Kagmag's in the pits. He's looks like they're retiring his car. Again, I think the race is pretty much stabilized where I think we've got 2 laps to go now. I'm watching Russell right now as he goes across. He's dropped significantly several seconds behind Hamilton, but he's still 11 seconds ahead of Gasly. So Tom Holland is going to be our flag waver for the end of this race this year. He's got the checkered flags in hand a little early, though. We're looking at the board right now, and we are now on the final lap. Max has started the final lap of the race. And he's just, again, from the beginning of this race, he has controlled this race from the beginning. And we're watching several other racers are being blue flagged as Max is essentially at this point, it's a early victory lap for Verstappen. Max now heading up to the first chicane. Max coming around the second chicane. And Max is now crossing the line, and he has won the Monaco Grand Prix. There we go. Alonso is now 27 seconds behind, but Max has won the race. Max has won the race. He's getting a full 25 points. And he's going to get a full 25 points over Perez, who's right now in 17th. He's improved only 3 places in this race. Alonso is now finished in the P2. Ocon's going to come in third now, just crossing the line, P3. Hamilton's going to be P4. So Verstappen, P1. Alonso, P2. Ocon on the podium, P3. That's a huge, huge, huge accomplishment for Alpine to be on the podium. Mercedes, P4, P5. A decent drive. Not where they want to be. They are improving. And that's, they've improved over Ferrari, who are P6, P8. Gasly's going to come in a P7, which is a good result. So Alpine getting good points this race. We got McLaren rounding out P9, P10, getting small points, but they are getting some points. Given where they've been, any points is better than no points, given that back marker situation. Wow. So yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. So hey, it was a race. It was definitely something. Rain definitely shook things up. Not as much as we expected. Not the chaos as the 2008 Monaco race that F1 put on, but definitely Stroll out of the race. K-Meg ultimately could not finish the race. We had people, so many people brushing the walls. People, we had Sargent basically stopping because he couldn't get around the hairpin. So I want to thank for those who have been. We had over last I count was over 8,000 people. We got over 1,500 likes on this stream. I want to thank you all who came. I know I'm not your usual commentator, but I had fun doing this, and I hope you enjoyed having me. If you are a motorhead, the Indianapolis 500, it's going to be starting in a little bit, so you'll probably be jumping over to that like I am. If you are interested, we do have a Discord channel. If you really want to get into the discussion of what's going on over in Indy, and I'm dropping that link into chat right now, hey, come join us in the Discord channel. Don't know what's going to happen with Charlotte because it rained like heck with them today, so they may not have a NASCAR race later, but hey, that's how things go. Again, what's our next race? Our next race is in Spain. It is the Gran Premio de España. I will see you then for practice 1. I'll be back for practice 1. And again, Ryan will be back for the qualifying and race for that race next weekend. So again, thank you this is Racing Statistics. And again, this is Crash. I appreciate you being here. I will see you in a few days for free practice 1 for Spain. I'll see you all soon and have a good day. Again, jump into Discord if you want to follow along with the Indianapolis 500. It's going to be a crazy race this year. All right. Take care, everyone.